You know what I love? Waking up in the morning, smelling the coffee, and watching Uncle Ben die. It's a fun pastime of mine, especially when I don't drink coffee, because gross. Uncle Ben's death inspired one of the greatest superheroes of all time to stop being greedy and selfish, to be something more. That's Spider-Man's whole deal. So it's weird when a version of Spider-Man completely ignores Uncle Ben as a character. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. This video contains spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? It's been out forever, go watch it. Now, bear with me because we've got a lot of ground to cover in this video talking about Uncle Ben and the MCU. So let's first ask the question, did he even exist? Well, that one's very easy. Yes, he existed. In Far From Home, Peter uses a briefcase with the letters BFP inscribed on it, meaning of course, Benjamin Franklin Parker. So yes, Uncle Ben exists within the MCU, but if he exists, why do we never talk about him? There's no flashback, no framed photos, no reminiscing about his inspiring past with Peter. He never even gets mentioned. Not once. Not even when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Mans tell Tom Holland's Spider-Man about the day Uncle Ben died. He seems unfazed, not even a head nod. Probably because Aunt May dying for him is his Uncle Ben moment. And I know what a couple of you are actually thinking, that Uncle Ben was mentioned in the MCU. Well, you're kinda right. He was mentioned in the Marvel Zombies episode of What If, but for obvious reasons, I don't think this should count. For one, it had a completely different creative team work on it, and for two, I'm not even sure this lands in the MCU canon. Hear me out. Of course these are alternative realities, but it's also clear that a lot more has changed in them besides the quote-unquote one small change the show claims each episode is based on. So no, I don't think Peter mentioning Uncle Ben in an animated out-of-canon tie-in entirely counts in the context of this video, which brings me back all the way to the main point. We know he existed, and now I ask the question, did he ever die? So far, the evidence surprisingly points to no. It really seems like before May passed, Tom Holland's Peter Parker never had that great power speech. It didn't come off as just something Ben used to say. May also seems okay with dating again, as she had a fling with Happy in Far From Home. Honestly, she kinda gets hit on a lot in these movies between Tony Stark and the waiter in Homecoming, but you know what, more power to her. Not to mention, neither Peter nor May seem to care when Ben's old suitcase is destroyed in Far From Home.
Where are your bags? Oh, right, they got blown up.
Yeah. We never hear his name or what he stood for spoken about within the MCU, and probably what got me thinking about this the most, what kind of inspired this video, he has no grave. Whenever Aunt May dies, she is buried next to her late husband, Ben, in the comics, shows, and games. It's a sad tradition, but it makes complete sense. So when Peter visited Aunt May's grave at the end of No Way Home, and it didn't pan over to show Uncle's Ben grave, that stuck with me. That got me thinking. So if Uncle Ben didn't die, what the hell happened to him? Where is he? Is it as simple as maybe him and May just got divorced in this universe? Well, I think that's a very real possibility. It even works with this line Tom says in Spider-Man Homecoming, which we, of course, used to think meant he died.
May cannot know. I cannot do that to her right now. You know? I mean, everything that's happened with her, please.
Well, there you have it, folks. Uncle Ben did not die in the MCU. Unless, of course, he did. Look, okay, I guess we won't really know until that Spider-Man origin story comes out. Spider-Man Freshman Year, you know, the animated show. But until that happens, this is my personal headcanon, as it explains the weird way Tom Holland never talks about Uncle Ben, even when both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are talking to him about losing Ben. It's just weird how he dances around the subject for like 5 movies. And you know what, if it turns out that Uncle Ben did die this whole time and it wasn't a crazy long time ago, I think that's just a slap in the face to the fans. I mean, come on. Why avoid his name like the plague if you're not going to do something new and interesting when he's finally revealed? I think we deserve to have him not be dead in the MCU. I think we deserve, after all this time, to have something fresh with the Uncle Ben side of Peter Parker's life. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. You gotta keep in mind, this is a glorified fan theory, this is just my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Am I missing some crucial piece of evidence, or am I just being stupid? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below.